Alright guys, so sorry. Actually stopped that video cause I my mic was low. My mic went off. So I was using my PC's mic. So as I was saying, that one of the reasons why one of the most important thing is showing you guys that this thing actually works. So I'm not just trying to bluff or you know I'm not even that I'm not even seeking for money self to show you guys this. So showing you that it could be very simple and then straightforward, straight to the point and all of those. So yeah, so I wasn't trying to get into this trade anymore. Else I would have just left that pending other day, and now we have this. So very well. I'm not going to be counting this because first off, my broker messed me up. So one of the things that would have happened was my management is supposed to be top notch. So I would have just taking partials and all of those things. So it depends on you now when you begin to trade this. It solely depends on you, right? If you want to be let's say anticipating stuffs like this, okay, then it's good stuff like that to happen. It's good that if you get into your first trade, right, and then you see your first shift, right, um you get into, let's assume now that you got into this trade, okay, and then you saw that shift. Usually when I see this second break and I say with body, I tend to reduce my stop loss from here in towards this new high, okay. Then I try to get into another trade, my second entry. Then if I see that happen, right, um this second entry, stop loss can be here. But a lot of times right now we can see this guy being swept, right? So a lot of times I might just wait, okay, I might just wait. But the most important thing that you're supposed to do is, because this low is your um is your realistic point for a 1 to 5. Now, what is going to be happening is at 50%, you are supposed to have taken partials. So, from your point of entry, which is here, to wherever it is your target is, you are supposed to have taken partials here. Okay, so at that point, so most times when I get to that 50% now, that is when I can now say that okay, I want to break even, do all those stuff. So most likely I would have been on a break even like this, right? But a lot of times now you can choose to, just wait to just wait for price to go a very, very long way. Okay, because this can happen. This can happen. That's basically what I'm saying. So you one of the most important things in SS to anticipate is, or to do rather, is your risk management should be top notch. I'm not just talking about risk management in the sense of on the likes of how much you want to be risking on a trade. Okay, I'm talking about risk management in the sense of taking out some volume from what you are trading. Do you understand? So that way now you can say that okay, I want to hold my trade till it hits TP. However, if it gets to 50%, I'm taking partials. If it gets to this point, I'm taking partial. If it gets to this point, I'm taking partials. Do you understand? So you are basically being able to still protect your capital, right? And still be able to hold your trades to go a long way, to go far. Do you understand? So that's why I told you guys that after I take my second entry, right, I don't care about any more break of structures happening below that point for some reasons, for a lot of reasons. So I don't want to catch every move. I mean, price is not just going to be moving down when you start seeing that break of structure. It's going to be inducing, it's going to be taking out stop losses. Do you understand? So I'm only interested in just getting into that first move and then that second. And every other thing is none of my business, right? Because we can now have something like this and then price goes up. You try to get in, you get stopped out. It goes this way and then it now goes with volume. Do you understand? So you're not trying to catch every single move. Okay. So just like we're saying that here is still that point that I am very, very much interested in seeing price head to at the moment. So since I missed this guy, right, um, I'll just, you know, since I didn't get, I'm not going to be counting it basically. That's just the truth. I'm not going to count it or try to beat myself or any unnecessary misfortunes. So we are still going to be getting much more cooler setups. So for now, I'm just going to be waiting for price to come back into this flip zone region. So if we get here, if price can get here, that is the point that I'm going to be looking at, absolutely trying to smash this guy. Okay, so I want to see that pullback. So we're going to be having a new candle open in the next 54 minutes. So that should be around 9 o'clock. So until price gets here, I do not want to do anything sincerely. If we go and smash this low, it's absolutely fine. I don't really care. Sincerely, I don't really care about any other thing. So I'm just interested in seeing pullbacks, right? If I can, and then using that confirmation to take price lower. So for USD card, okay, for GBP USD now we can set that a lot there. Then for USD card, um, on the daily, right, there's a tendency that price is going to go all the way to clear that high, but I wasn't anticipating that at all. At all, I never saw that coming out. I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in my realistic points, right? So, but for now, right, we can very well see price heading into those higher points, like taking those highs and stuff, and possibly even, I think I was talking about that, that price could possibly even get to that point, right? So can make use of more of that point. Very, very possible that we'll see price getting to that point. So, and plus this is the daily time frame. So when we take our measurements, we see that this is a very good amount. This is 17 pips added to whatever it is that you have and you are trading. That's huge. So for now, there's absolutely nothing. So on the daily time frame, we just have a break of this high. I want to see if we can get a pullback. If we do, it's fine. I'm looking at from what we said yesterday. I'll take my fib from the low to the high. Then I'll be looking at anywhere below 50%. Now, however, on the 4 hours, when we drop to the hourly, now I've been waiting for price. Waiting for price to come to this lower point here, right? So that's my point of interest at the moment. So I'm not really looking out for any more levels, right? Except this high gets invalidated. And if that high gets invalidated, then there's now a tendency that what is going to happen, that we'll get an invalidation of that daily point there. So for now, this high is not even really important, right? That high there is definitely going to be taken if we start getting volume. So this area, which is an incomplete pullback, right, is that extreme level that I could be getting targets, okay, or the extreme level that I can be using as my target area. That's that. So I, at the same time, I cannot say that um do not make the mistake ever of saying that because you have started seeing this by, you are going to use it as POI. You are just killing yourself. I will never do that. I did not teach you that. I did not show you that, right? And plus this, you're supposed to test it out, but I'm just giving you a walkthrough of you know how I approach. And so far you've seen it. I've shown you my losses, I've shown you the wins, I've shown you the setups and all of those things. So in case you are wondering, so basically before I talk about that, so on USD card presently at the moment, what I'm going to be waiting for is I want to see price either go lower or I want to see us invalidate this high so that we can have new POIs that we will be interested in, taking more buys from, and I'm going to be holding it longer term into that high. So yeah, so that's what I have for USD card, or price is going to be heading lower. So like this, okay, and I'm going to be taking the sell until we get here. Then if we get a shift, use my confirmation to buy back to the upside. So I'm just going to be waiting and waiting. So while I have my alerts there, I can have one at the top. So just nicely like that. So this is why the alarm system is actually very important, right? But why I can set this much alarm is because I'm having a premium package for TradingView. So usually if you do not have, then it's going to be more of what's it called, just maximum of three alarms, right, in total. So I'm going to be advising you to start with one pair, trade just one pair. You can utilize that one pair, right? I think I should briefly talk about that. Now, the less you do, the better it is in reality. So forget the fact that I'm looking at four pairs. Okay, I'm not completely trading the four pairs. Do you understand? Now you can see that on my live account, I'm trading just BTC USD. That's why I said the less you do, the more you can have. Okay, why is when you are trading less, you can risk more. Okay, so you can easily say that, okay, I have $100, for example, that I want to use to start trading. Now I'm trading just one pair. Now, usually it is very much advisable that you, in fact, the reality of trading is do not risk more than 1% of your capital. Do you understand? But we all know that if you do not have money, then what is 1% of $100? $1. You absolutely cannot risk $1 in this market. Let me just be plain. Okay, if you are doing that, it's gambling, it's pure gambling. You need a good startup, right? So that's why a lot of traders will advise you or we tell you start with a prop firm if you don't if you don't really have money, because that $100 can get you a prop firm of $10,000, for example. But then you know the rules. 10% is basically what you are trading. So you are trading $1,000 and that's fine. So if you are risking the 1% of 10,000, that is $100 per trade, then you have 10 shots. Now, if you are risking 0.5%, you have 20 shots. Do you understand? So basically, what I'm saying is when you are trading one pair, you can do more. You can risk more in essence. So if let's say you have that $100 back to the $100, now I can say that okay, I want to give myself 10 shots. Okay, so that way you can now start trading what $10 each on each trade, on each position. You can start risking $10. So I have 10 shots, or you have 10 shots to take. So same thing for your prop firm. If you are taking a prop firm, you can now nicely say that okay, I want to risk $1 per trading position. Do you understand? So I have 10 shots. You understand? So now that makes sense. You are not supposed to Sincerely, you're not supposed to ever have 10 straight losses. So the only thing that can happen is if what happened to me begins to happen to you, that let's say you miss out on trades and then the next trade is now a loser. So it's going to affect whatever it is that you're doing. But what you can likely say is if you stick to your plan, if you follow what you are supposed to stick to the rules and you follow what you're supposed to follow, right? You can see a loss, or you can see three losses, you can even see four losses max, or five losses. Let's even say it's that bad. You can see five losses, then you can see a break even, then you can see one more loss, then you can see a win. Do you understand? So it's almost impossible, right? If you have a plan that you follow and you have tested it out, and then you have that edge, right? Like for myself, I know that I'm not supposed to have more than 4 losses at a stretch. I don't think I've seen 5 losses at a stretch. So the only thing that makes me to fumble is when I miss trades, when I begin to miss trades. So it's very, very painful, right? It pains me when I miss out on trades, or maybe my broker does not tag me. Why? Because I know that, like, I'm supposed to be in that trade to be able to recover. So it is affecting my performance. Do you get? So that is that. So if you are if you are trading more pairs, like if you are trading, how I do it is each pair like has 10 shots, or each pair should have 10 shots, except I'm just trying to be wild. I'm just trying to trade a lot of pairs on one account, right? Else usually I give each pair 10 shots. So if I want to be trading 2 pairs or 3 pairs, if I want to be trading 2 pairs for example, then I should have 20 shots. So that's why I said in prop firms now, for example, I'm going to be risking 0.5%. So that gives me 20 shots. So now I can trade 2 pairs in that scenario. So same way, if you have $100, right, and you are trading 2 pairs, you can risk $5 per trading position. Now that gives you 20 shots also. Do you understand? And that way, if you're not using percentage, right? That way you're just using based on how many shots you have or how many trades you are going to be taking. Do you understand? So that is that. Then also do not forget to add your commissions when getting into a trade. And yeah, so there you have it. So I wanted talking about something and I can't remember for now. But if I do, I'm going to do well to let you guys know. But for now, I'm doing absolutely nothing. So I'm just waiting on price to see what we have. And yeah, so that's more of it. So I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Stay safe.